Very good morning to all of you. Welcome to a great edition of Point Noted session by Machine Maker. Today is International Women's Day, and it is not Indians who should celebrate the power of women. Every day, one or the other way, we go and do it in temples. And I think we Indians will be only community in the entire world who really worship and celebrate womanhood in the country. But one thing is there, even when we talk about, empowering or celebrating women, the industry which we work with, the manufacturing, see very less number of people who are working in the industry. From earlier time, maybe, because of the weights, the heaviness of the industry, which used to be, manufacturing was supposed to be completely a male dominated area. Mechanical engineering was there. There are some people still, before even 50, 60 years who made the difference, broken the stereotypes. But still today, we need to see that only 10 to 12% are the people who are working in the shop floor or the manufacturing operations. But slowly things are changing. Today, what the women in India is not actually looking at, they don't need your empowerment. What you just need to see is just see them, what they're doing. Give them that space. They will just do the wonderful things. This is my personal experience. I am so happy to say that today, whatever we are able to achieve in Machine Maker, that is because of a strong young team of women who are behind us. And the commitment, the sincerity, and the kind of delivery what they do, it is we cannot match up. So today when I was talking to my team, I told them, for me every day is a Women's Day, but today it is special. Okay, I agree, we will try to take this as a day and go and tell people around us that amazing, be it your mother, be it your colleague, be it your daughter, we can celebrate that. Today, friends, to make this celebration to a different level, we have with us a dynamic, dashing woman with us. Her name is Shubhra Miranda. Welcome to the Point Noted live session, Miss Miranda.
Thank you, Hari.
So she is the director of Phillips Machine Tools. They are the one of the leading machining solution providers, machine tool and related solution providers in India. Phillips Corporation is based out of US. This is a 100% subsidiary. Phillips Machine Tools India is 100% subsidiary of Phillips Corporation US, and she leads the company in India. Also, not just machine tools. They started with Haas factory outlet, and now they have different divisions. And let us hear out from Shubhra about her journey. And also today, the International Women's Day is basically celebrated with a theme of gender equality for sustainable growth. How the gender equality of today can help us for the sustainability in all factors. We will be talking on manufacturing. Over to you, madam. What is your views on this?
First of all, thank you, Hari, for inviting me for this session. I should say that I'm really honored, first of all, to be on this forum and addressing so many dynamic people out there. And I'm very humbled also at the same time. So I would really thank you for this opportunity. And as I have always maintained that if my thoughts or my beliefs or the inspiration, if somebody can get from this, even changes one life, then it is all worth it. So thank you once again for having me. And today, as you rightly said, every day is a Woman's Day. I mean, just imagine your life even one day without your mother or your wife or your sister or your daughter or whoever is there in your family or in your space. And it'll be completely chaotic. So I mean, if you imagine that scenario, right? So every day is a Woman's Day, or every day could be a man's day also. But today we take a step back and we commemorate, or we reflect upon as to what these people mean to us in our lives, or what their position is exactly, or what they stand for, right? So probably, yeah, a day in commemoration of this thing to bring back those thoughts to our minds, which sometimes get lost and sometimes are not at the forefront of our minds because we take it for granted or it becomes a humdrum of daily life. So I feel that yes, a day has been, designated for this. But yes, every day is a celebration, and every day has to be in that way, or we have to conduct ourselves in that manner. So yeah, so this topic today that we have taken, gender equality for sustainable tomorrow, as I maintain that rather than calling it gender equality, that means that somebody is at a higher level and somebody is at a little lower level. That's why you're talking of equality. But I maintain that if we think of gender neutrality, which I think brings everything at the same level, and then you think about what that life is all about. Now, whether that life is in the male form or in the female form, that's a different issue at that point in time. But when we look at life skills, or we look at capabilities, or we look at the personality of that life, I mean, that is more important rather than boxing that thing into like a box, like a male or a female, and then getting our biases take over. Of course, it's easier said than done, and there are stereotypes that are there in our minds, and it has been happening over decades or ages or centuries, I would say. So this conditioning of mind does not happen like it's just because I thought of it something and somebody else thought, my mother thought, or my father thought, or my grandfather. It has been conditioning of human mind for a long period of time. So to break those stereotypes, to come out of those biases, and to come out of several other socio-economic factors, it takes time. But yes, we can definitely make a conscious effort. We can definitely make a conscious effort to at least whatever is there in our control, or whatever at the human level, at our personal level, or or whatever we can influence in that frame of influence. If we can create a difference, then we should definitely do that. So that's what I maintain, and that's what I believe in, and that's what I do. So I'm not saying that I can make a difference in, like, millions of women's life. Probably I may or I may not, but whatever I can do or wherever I can make a difference, I definitely will, or I definitely do. So that is my view on this.
That's
Why?
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, please go ahead.
That is wonderful. You are also talking about conditioning, and even gender neutrality is a great thought. That is more powerful word. From equality or empowerment, it is all about gender neutrality. And you are talking about conditioning, and many women who were very successful were talking about this. Getting support from the family, getting condition from the family. So what do you think about that?
So yeah, so I was thinking about it when I was asked to talk on this forum and on this topic particularly. So I was putting some thoughts to it, and I was just reflecting upon my own journey. And I went back to the day that I came into existence, and it was very funny that I realized that how a simple gesture of a person and of a human being who happens to be a male, that is my father that I'm going to talk about, made it so much difference to my life. And it wasn't a woman only, it wasn't only my mother who shaped me. Of course, she had a very big hand in shaping me as a person, as a human being, and as a personality that I stand today. But there are more men that have shaped my life and have changed my thoughts, or given me the confidence to believe in myself, or even given the opportunities. So I would just like to share a personal story here, which some of the people know and some may not know probably. So it will just throw light on these simple, small things that we can do at our level, and which will create this, in the whole society. So the day I was born, I was apparently, my mother says that I was apparently the only girl child that was born in that hospital. And all the other children that were born that day were males in that hospital, in that particular hospital. So my father, who was a first-time father, I'm the firstborn of my parents, was so elated, and he went out and he bought like boxes and boxes of sweets, because he wanted it to not only distribute to family and friends, but he wanted it to distribute it to the entire hospital, which he did. And which was remarkable in the sense, because today maybe, it may be a norm, maybe it is a fad, it is a fashion that people do that and stuff like that. But back then, like, 47 years back to be precise, it wasn't the case. Like, it wasn't like, so, a matter of celebration when a girl child was born, and specifically in a conservative Marwadi family. So I am originally a Marwadi and I'm married a Catholic. That's why my surname is Miranda. But so I'm a born Marwari, and in that setting, when he was himself brought up by very conservative parents like my grandparents, and for him to take this action, for him to believe this, for him to think this, and to do this itself began my journey of empowerment, or equality or neutrality, as I may call, because he did not distinguish whether his first child was a girl or a boy, and it did not matter to him. It did not matter to him that day, and it did not matter to him for the rest of his life. So, that is where I feel that as human beings or as individuals, we can make this difference. Because, the day you do this for your children, whether they are girls or boys or whatever they are, it doesn't make a difference. You empower them and give them all the platform that you can from your side, so that they can flourish with respect to their skills, their capabilities, their interests. And do not condition them, saying that, oh, you're a guy, so you need to be playing certain things and a certain sport, and you're a girl, so you should be doing only this and stuff like that. So, those kind of biases start from there. Like for example, I have a daughter, right, who's 10 years old now. And I tell her always that, because there is a lot of conditioning around, like, oh, you're a girl, so you should like pink, or you should like blue, or you should be playing only the piano and not this and not that. And like I said, no, it's not that. You can do what you want. All colors are for everybody. There is no specific color for anyone, right? These are all marketing gimmicks, marketing techniques that have been employed for ages to get some message across, some things across, and stuff like that. So, the conditioning starts from there, and the empowerment starts from there. So, those are the little things I feel that people can, incorporate in their lives, and this will change the society. So this will change the society. No government policy, no government regulation can alter the way we think, right? I mean, can they tell you that how you should be thinking about your wife, or how you should be treating her, or how you should be thinking about your daughter, and what you should be doing with her and stuff like that? No, government on the contrary is doing their best. It is us who are not taking advantage of those things. If whatever policies exist, I'm sure there are many which exist, right? So, it is up to us what we do. So, yeah, that's what I feel about this.
Yeah, this is again. I'm telling you, you told it right. And one more thing I would like to ask you, that coming from, you told that an Orthodox Marwadi family, definitely maybe business is already there in your blood. So how was that? Coming to the stage here right now as the director of Phillips Machine Tools, that's also in manufacturing. What made you to come into manufacturing actually?
Yeah, so let me not be false here, and and take credit. Oh, it was a very well meditated step, or it was a very thought of journey and stuff like that. No, the coming into the business happened by accident, and I will tell you how it happened. So I'm basically, by profession and by my qualification, I'm a pharmacist. I'm a registered pharmacist in the state of Maharashtra, and I've also completed my PGDBA with finance and marketing being my major subjects. So yeah, so that was my qualification background. I did start in my industry. So I joined the pharma industry. I worked there for 5 years in the marketing department. So first I worked with Nicholas Pyramid, which was having Roche products at that point in time in biotechnology. And also, the second company that I worked with was Viat Limited, an American company which has been taken over by Pfizer, I think, a couple of years back. So yeah, so I was working in the marketing department. I got promoted and stuff, and I was rising up the ladder and reached marketing manager position in 5 years, I think, from 0 to 5. Nicholas and Wyatt being the companies. At that point in time, I felt that I was getting into a rut. I was not enjoying what I was doing, even though I was successful, but I was not enjoying what I was doing. And sometimes you get that flash that you know that you don't want to do this, but you definitely don't know what you want to do. You may not know what you want to do, and that's fairly okay. I mean, and that's fine. If you don't know what to do, it's fine. You can always have choices. You can make changes. Nobody says that if you chose one thing and you have to keep doing that for the rest of your life. I mean, nothing like that. You can change your profession. You can change your stream. You can do whatever if you feel like, and if you're passionate enough about it, right? And if you want to do it. So I left my job, and when my boss did not accept my resignation for 1 month, actually. So after that, he had to give in because I was persistent, and then he accepted it. But he asked me, "What would you like to do? What would you do?" So this was my answer to him, that I don't know what I want to do, and I will be at home for some time. I will figure it out. I definitely will not sit at home and do nothing with my life. I'm sure about that. But I definitely right now don't know what I want to do. So that was the stage at which I was. And I was at home and I was exploring my options. There were several recruiters who knew about me and they were contacting me, and several other people who wanted to work with me, in business, other vendors who were working with me in these companies, they wanted me to join them and stuff like that. But I was not very kicked about all of that, right? So I was just being at home, exploring my options, thinking about what would excite me, and what would I like to do. Being all of 27 or 28 at that point in time, I obviously was not very mature or very, quite childish, I guess, at that point now, if I look back. So one day, Terence, my husband, who had already joined his father's business, so our original company was known as Omira Marketing, which distributed machine tools. And he got some stack of papers and stuff like that and some files. And I used to keep telling him jokingly that, your industry is so boring and it's like so non-creative. And, I have worked in like such, environments, how pharma offices are so plush and everything is so structured. And we used to have these quarterly and annual conferences in like, Kodaikanal and Udaipur and all of those kind of jazz, right? So anyway, so I used to make fun of him. And I used to say, oh God, these machines and how they look, and I don't like machines and stuff like that, and did not know that I would land up with them for the rest of my life. Anyway, so yeah, so one day that happened, and he asked me to go through those papers. Of course, they were related to accounts, and they were related to some bank statements and stuff like that. So I did go through all of that without having any background, and I was asked to make some sense of it, in the next couple of days. I did possess a computer even at that point in time, my personal computer, and I was working on it. And I tabulated a few things from those papers and filed in a sequence according to what made sense to me. So I filed them and I took the bank statements. I didn't understand them much. So I went to the bank from where they were generated, and I met the bank manager, and I asked her for help, and she explained to me what that statement was. It was a voluminous statement of more than 100 pages. And it was a dot matrix printout, so that they used to be like so big with perforations and very light print in ink. So to make sense of that also would have taken time. So I understood from her the basic concept, and then I tabulated all that. So after that, I was made to meet the accountants, and that was my first brush with accounting. So even though I'm not an accountant by profession, but I have always been involved with accounting and finance and with chartered accountants. And my family also has a lot of chartered accountants. Being from a Marwari family, I think the most preferred profession that guys and girls can think of is being a chartered accountant somehow. So anyway, so I have a lot of chartered accountants in my family. And that is exactly why I didn't want to be a chartered accountant, and I wanted to be a doctor. I was studying to be a doctor actually, and but I still have ended up with accounting, as my major, one of my major responsibilities in my journey with our business from Omira till Phillips India. So yeah, so that makes a lot of sense apparently to the accountants, and they were quite impressed. And Terence was quite relieved that he didn't have to look at it. And so even though he is also a pharmacist like me, and that is where we met in the pharmacy college, and later on in our life we got married. So he was relieved that there was somebody who could make sense and who could talk to the accountants and make them understand. And he has a natural flair or bent for engineering. So he looks at the sales side, the service side, and the more technical side. And I ended up looking at more of the business framework side, the administrative side, the accounting, the marketing, the IT, the bone or the framework or the skeleton on which the business stands, right? So that lo and behold, and before I knew, I was into business. I was taken on the board of directors of our company, and my journey started in 2003 with Omira Marketing, our company. And later we hived off to form a separate company for only Haas products, because they took they took center stage, and 70% or 80% of our revenue and volume was coming from Haas. We formed another company in 2004, Haas Technical Center. In 2008 we entered into this agreement and this venture with Phillips Corporation USA to only give them distribution rights for Haas, and the other products were with us at that point in time as well. And I was looking at them, and Terence was looking at Haas primarily, because that was the volume business for us. And in 2015 we again had a venture with Phillips Corporation, and we hived off our other products division as well. And that is the time I decided in 2015 to work full time with Phillips Machine Tools India on the board of directors of Phillips Machine Tools India, because the company needed some kind of, I thought, direction and guidance, and which I could provide, I thought. And since 2015, I am associated with Philips India, and here we are today. So, in short, my journey from 2003 till today.
It's very amazing. You see, it's the way, I felt I am a great storyteller. You are just changing the entire perception. So nice to hear all these things. And one thing I'm telling you, destiny, you never thought and you came back in accounts. This is
Yes.
what you don't want to do, right?
I still don't want to do, but I still do. I'm sure our accountants are not liking it. But anyway.
But I do have a question to you.
Mhm.
Today, after 20 years working with these machines and all those things,
Yeah.
do you think that manufacturing is boring?
No, I definitely don't. And I wanted to touch upon that. And, I find it pretty interesting now, and I like, so the other day what happened is that we were interviewing for a marketing lead position for our education vertical, right? And this guy happens to be an engineer from IIT or some very reputed institution, and has also done his MBA from IIM Calcutta. So how the chip on the shoulder stuff, kind of stuff. So anyway, so we got him to our office, to our Mumbai office, and we took him to our demo room down on the ground floor. Okay, and it turned out to be that I was the one who was explaining to him about the machines, and he didn't know much about it, even though he was an engineer. And that was my eureka moment. Like I said, oh, I have arrived. It was like that. So I was explaining to him about like all the machines that were there on display. I could tell the basics, of course. I mean, after 20 years, I'm not a complete, I cannot fix the machine, or I cannot suggest what has gone wrong with it. But definitely I do understand, as a science student, I understand the basis or the principle on which they work. I mean, and I know the basics. I mean, I'm not a complete fool now in that direction. Like, even though I have not taken much interest from my side, but I've taken enough interest to understand the product. So it also goes to prove that if you set your mind on something, and if you want to excel in it, you can do it, irrespective of your stream, irrespective of your qualification, irrespective of whatever you may have initially thought you wanted to do with your life. Of course, structured qualification, I always maintain that structural and professional qualification definitely gives you a framework. So it definitely gives you a framework of thought. It gives you that discipline in thinking. It gives you the discipline of working hard, because even wanting to be a doctor or a pharmacist or whatever we did in our lives needed 14 to 16 hours of discipline every single day. Standing in the labs for 6 to 7 hours is not a joke, doing practicals and dissecting frogs and I don't know what all things, and working with those high intensity chemicals and stuff like that is not easy, I mean, by any stretch of imagination. And uh, and reading those fact books and stuff like that in fine print, and having so many subjects to cover and stuff like that, so it gives you that discipline to go through the grit. So when you do your own business, you may know, is like it's like every day is an exam, like so I used to think that only those college days and school days were bad, but when I entered the industry, like be it pharma, it was not so pressurizing because it was not our own thing. It was pressurizing, but in a different way. But when I entered Omira, I mean, with a 750 square feet office, from coming from a plush office to a 750 square feet office itself was like a shock to begin with. And then today, so it was, and every day was an exam, every day. So you were like, you were making an Excel sheet for the accounting, you're seeing administration, you're seeing HR, you're seeing marketing, you're doing everything, like, because you don't have that entire setup, right, to begin with. Today in the back office itself, we have so many people, like, over 50, 60 people doing all back office functions, and over 300 people in the field and stuff like that. But at that point in time, it was like hardly two or three people in back office trying to do everything. The accountant coming on, like, half a day for 3 days in a week kind of stuff and all of that, right? So it was like you are appearing for an exam every single day. Everything, something or the other is going wrong, and you're trying to fix it, when you're just starting out, right? You know how it is. So yeah, it has been a journey like no other, and something that one could not have planned for, couldn't have thought of. So I think my entire life has been like that. I have not planned for it. I mean, I did not get up, and I was not one of those, mushy kind of romantic things like, I want to marry like this and I want to be like that only, and this is what my husband should be. I actually ended up marrying a Catholic. I mean, which for my time was a revolution, according to me. Today also could be for Marwadis. I don't know, but I was like a social outcast, and that was not expected of me, because I was supposed to be somebody who was very serious and very sincere, because I was always in like those toppers and 90 plus, kind of things. So it was not expected of me. What was expected of me was to be conventional, to follow the norms, to fix in a box. Everybody was trying to put me in a box. And what happened is, whenever they tried to put me in a box, I broke the box and I came out. So I think all my family members and my extended family members were suitably shocked, until date remain shocked, I think. Like, how I have pulled this off, and how I have, like, managed all this from a pure vegetarian, marrying a completely carnivorous human being. Complete change of, religion is so different, culture is so different, and yet, like, and working together with my husband, So I say that I am managing so many dimensions with one person. I mean, it is like a experience in itself, right? So yeah, so that has been the journey so far.
See, one thing what I believe is, see, I've been with manufacturing industry for last 25 years. I started with Delhi, Okla
Okay.
Industrial Estate, Mayapuri Industrial Estate. So it's a long journey. I'm here, and in machine maker also, I found it very difficult for getting people. People writing about machines. For them, it is boring. The
Yeah.
journalists who come, they would like to write about fashion, pastry, or they would like to talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
politics for serious people. And manufacturing is not something. And
Yeah.
over years, I was like, I don't want to do anything beyond manufacturing. I don't want to do anything apart from manufacturing. It became like that. But slowly, I realized, until and unless when people starts getting experienced or involved. For
Involved.
example, my partner, she worked with me for around 8 years, and those 8 years, like she never used to go and talk about anything. She used to do content. Sometimes she used to write, and without giving so much of challenge, and she used to take care of all the other things, but not directly involved, because she don't want to write about manufacturing. Manufacturing is not great. But then a time came when we decided to part ways, and she gone and joined an American company, into manufacturing, and so she gone into taking care of the responsibility of marketing. I seen the transformation there, and she was telling me that she is going to write an article telling that how she became an engineer in 14 days. And the biggest benefit is that within 6 months she joined BBAC.
So you got a trained person like at free cost, basically.
So 8 years of conditioning.
Yeah.
That is I will tell you the theory. We put it in the college. No matter useless. But she gone to that 6 months and she been with the machines, because she only one machine or couple of machines. And today I'm telling you, maybe, she's finding that she's romancing with the machines. And that is something what I feel that, which came, over the time. I've been many times to Phillips Machines stalls in Intex or any exhibition for that matter. And you see those machines, that products which comes out of those Hamle machine is, I cannot explain,
Oh, when I visit that, you really hit the nail on the head. When I visit the Hamle factory, I've visited several times in Germany, and they have these, beautiful things on display in their, display thing, which I always keep telling them that you have to give it to us or give the program at least, we'll make it. Of course, they don't agree. They will agree. I'm sure they'll agree. They've agreed on certain things. So the beautiful things, they made that famous American eagle. They've designed the World Cup, that trophy, which you might have seen the last football World Cup. Oh my God, it's like just amazing. And they make these beautiful things to show the capability of the machine. So they have made like a stiletto, a stiletto shoe for a woman. And I was thinking, can I just steal this from there and stuff? It was so beautiful. I cannot tell you, and I've also, and this journey has been same for me. I have fallen in love with what it can create, and specifically with 3D printing that we are foraying into. Oh my God, the kind of stuff, the intricate stuff, and the beauty of it is that if you can imagine, you can create, you can make. And I feel that our engineers are no less than creators. I mean, they are no less than any painter or a musician or a artist or somebody. They are artists in themselves. Like, they can write a program and the machine can do it. And lo and behold, it comes out. So, and you see it, and you see it. You can touch it. So it's like so fascinating.
You know that this is what driving me. This is what driving me, writing about these creators. For example, someone asked me, okay, you are coming out with this platform machine maker, so you talk about machine. I told that for me, this pen is a machine which helped me to write. This is a machine, and making this. And this is creation, God. Why you worship God? Whomever, you never seen a God, right? But you worship a God because he created this universe. He created you. That is why you are indebted to the God for years. And see these guys who are in a shop floor, the MSMEs, the many people, what you come across, you empower by making their dream possible. You talked about additive manufacturing.
Yes.
The possibilities from your implant, from your, and every moment of life is somewhere connected to you, right?
Yeah, anything and everything that you see around you has been manufactured in some or the other way, right? Whether it's your iPhone, whether it's your phone, whether it's your water bottle, whether it's your pen, whether anything, watch or whatever, it has to be manufactured. It has to be made. And who will enable that? It will be the machine and the person who's working on the machine. The machine will not work itself out, right? So yeah, so that has been fascinating, and something that I now look back, and I am fortunate that I landed up here. So I always used to regret at one time that I would be a doctor and I would be saving lives and all of those kind of things, and I was not given that chance to be a doctor, but by our education system for whatever reason. But the thing is that, I am doing
Good. Sorry, good. You never gone to Ukraine.
Ukraine.
Many people go to Ukraine from here to study medical because they were not able to crack here for many reasons.
I had a very big ego about that also. So I studied to be a doctor in my 12th grade, and I got 93% in my PCMB, whatever was required at that point in time. And according to me, I should have been given in the best college in Mumbai. So I was not, I was getting admission in Maharashtra somewhere, but it was against my, ego that, oh, I have to study in KEM, I have to study in JJ and stuff like that. So I said, no, on my merit, I should be able to get everywhere, wherever I want. But that was not possible under the system that was there at that point in time. So I
Yeah, you
decided
told
to.
me you are 90 plus always.
Yeah, I'm just hopping on that again and again that I'm not a fool who's just doing something.
But
Just trying to.
I must tell you one thing, maybe I got many chats thanks to Phillips Machine Tools. I'm associated with Haas and Mr. Miranda, Mr. Terence for many years. I am in touch with these people,
Yeah.
from 2010, 2012, Gomira marketing, all these
Yes.
times.
Yes.
And I must tell you the kind of transformation your people made. Today it's all about experience. You are giving your customers an experience. Okay, that is what we are. What an office you made in Pune. I think people should come and visit that place. It is what the cafeteria, and I don't know what you made there. That second floor, the first floor, the middle floor. I don't know why it is like that. Such a wonderful place. Why?
Yeah, yeah. So there is a story behind that also. So when I visited, as I told you, I think somebody or you also, when I visited that, and it did not appeal to any of my senses, and I was very heartbroken that day. And what broke my heart was primarily that our people were in that condition, were made to be in that condition, even though that may not have been very bad, but was not great to begin with, and our customers were experiencing that, and it was not getting aligned with our brand image or our personal thoughts as well, or my personal thoughts as well. So I was thinking about it, that what needs to be done and what could change that. So I, rather than thinking very conventionally, I was in discussion with Nikhil and several other people in our office, and I said that we will be, we'll break all the shackles. We are not going to be conventional, and we think that we are, or we have that thinking about us, that we are Facebook and Google of manufacturing, and we are going to display that in every single thing that we do, and we are doing it. So we, according to us, we are the Google of manufacturing, so we are going to write the trends, we are going to do the things, and we are, my personal endeavor is to make manufacturing cool. So just as you said that people just don't take manufacturing very seriously, or don't think it is fun, or don't think it is cool, like it is cool to be this, it is cool to be that, but it is not cool to be a machinist. But it will be, in no time you will see that it will be cool to be a machinist. And there are several initiatives that are going on from our side, which we are leading. And then one day people will say, yes, I'm a machinist, I want to be a machinist, I want to be an engineer who works on machines. And people will change their perspective about working on machines, right? And be it men or women, both. And there will be no gender bias, there will be no gender bias, there will be no thought in anybody's mind that whether I can do this or not, because in our minds there is no bias. So anybody can learn anything, anybody can do anything in life, if you just have to put your mind to it, your effort to it, and give it your 100%, more than 100%, throw yourself into it, and then see what happens, and that is the output that you see over there. So it will not be only Pune, it is extended to all our places. It will be similar, not the same experience, of course, because everywhere the size, the configuration, the need may be different. But yeah, that came out of that thought that the people have to have a good experience, be it our people, be it our customers, be it anybody who who comes in touch with you, who touches you, has to have a wonderful experience. And several customers came, several people came and asked Terence, and asked, I guess, people, they have filmed our office, they visited our office, and they said that who's designed it, who's the designer behind it, and they just say that this is this one person's crazy ideas which have been implemented over here. So yeah, so craziness leads to a lot of good things, you have to be a little crazy. Yeah, if you're not crazy, you cannot come up with good things, I'm telling you that also in life.
Actually, I mark your word today, 8th of March 2022, on this International Women's Day. What you told, that tomorrow the people of this country are going to tell that I'm a machinist, and they are going to be proud. And today I'm telling you, I am so confident that you are going to achieve it, because I can see it. You
Yes.
achieve, and whatever you tell, and it become a routine, it become an habit. I can see it from you people, and all the best for it.
Yeah, because once you believe in it, you manifest it, you work towards it. If you believe in this, you give these thoughts and vibrations into the universe, and then they help you manifest what you want, basically, right? And so this is what we want, and this is what I think government of India wants. Forget about us only. Government of India wants. What is Make in India? And what is Skill India? That every person in India should be proud that India is the nation for manufacturing. We have been service providers for quite some time now. So it is the time that we need to bring back manufacturing to its fore and to glory, and help us prosper. I mean, how are we going to prosper and take the next leap? I mean, the whole world is looking at options, for manufacturing. So yeah, why not take that? I mean, and we have so many capable people. We have young people. The population of our country is, the average age is below 35. 65% of our population is below the age of 35. And so it's a young population. We are well educated. We can converse in English language, which is the language of business, and we can communicate, we can write, we can understand, we can work, and we are intelligent. So we are an intelligent race, right? So we have to make this happen, and this will happen. I mean, this will happen, and in whatever way we can enable, we are enabling that through our efforts and initiatives that we are taking.
uh, Again, thanks to Phillips Machine Tools, thanks to you, thanks to Terence and the entire team of Philips for enabling us to come out with this special edition,
Yeah.
which we are going to launch
Yes.
with your, permission. So, women in manufacturing is not something what we were doing it right now. We were doing it for many years. And these small steps which we took in 2017, we did in a very big way. We came up with an issue. After that, we started this. We coined almost around 7-8 years back. We manufacturing,
Yeah.
and now slowly people are picking up.
Yeah.
And over the time, we were coming out uh, articles on a regular basis. For me, as I told you, it is an everyday. Women
Yeah.
in manufacturing to promoting should be, it should be every day. And I strongly believe women don't need empowerment. So I was talking, and a great idea or great support came from Philips, and telling that, okay, 8th of March, why can't we write about 8 people? And we just jumped in, and it's a record time. We should thank all those women who are incredible women who told yes and given their time, and the team behind. As I told you, I have a strong women team who helped me to get this issue done. So I just want to ask you about women in manufacturing, and what you think about these initiatives, what we are doing about putting these voices out.
Yeah, I think that, yeah, featuring these incredible women is my honor and privilege. And I think reading about their stories, and some of them I know personally as well. I mean, it's so inspiring, and it gives that little nudge to somebody who has some self doubt, maybe, or must be thinking, can I make it here? Can I not make it here? Am I supposed to be doing this? Am I supposed to be a mechanical engineer? Can I be a civil engineer if I like it? Can I be on the shop floor? Can I be in the field? And reading about these women, and everyone who has achieved it, irrespective of any gender, I mean, gives you that little nudge, gives you that inspiration, gives you that hope, right? That yes, if she could do it, I can do it as well. And the whole idea of this edition is, or this talk is, to do that. So even if somebody has that little bit of doubt or little bit of anxiety about choosing a profession, should not have that. Because I say that with confidence, because I think men somehow have been able to remove those shackles, or they may have also faced their own doubts. I'm not sure about that, but seems to be like that. If you see men in fashion, I mean, the biggest names in fashion industry who are stylists and stuff are men. You see makeup artists, you see hairstylists. My personal hairstylist is a man. and he's such a great person. And your dress designers, your chefs, I mean, these are all supposed to be more in the feminine domain, or considered on our in our daily lives, considered to be women oriented jobs. But no, they are killing it. They are there and they are killing it, and they are not feeling any less or any less manly because they chose these professions, right? So even if a woman decides to take any of these professions, I mean, I don't think so. And this edition or this talk, if it removes that self doubt, if it gives you that little nudge, if that gives you that little spark of inspiration that you are maybe lacking to make that decision, I hope that it does that, and we would have arrived. We would have been successful in our endeavor to do that today. So, and we will continue to do that. So one such woman that comes to my mind, who's a great person, and our one of our customers as well, is Miss Vaishali Lupani. She started with having one CNC machine, and today, after a couple of years, she has more than 30 machines in her workshop, and she leads this alone. I mean, it's an incredible journey, and I'm sure that there are several such stories that need to be told, and several such examples that we need to be mindful of and aware of around us. Our own mothers, our own daughters, our own sisters are living examples of that, are living examples of how many hurdles, of how many challenges they have come over to bring us where we are today, right? Whether it is a girl or a boy, a mother, a motherly figure that is there, a mother that is there in that child's life is a woman, and she enables so many things. Can you imagine your childhood without your mother? I mean, it's impossible for any child to imagine that, right? Who puts that first seed, who puts that first thought, who puts that first effort into you, is a woman behind you, right? So I think that yes, if we keep this at the back of our minds, and if we act accordingly, then there won't be any problem. You said that we fear today that we cannot send a girl to a remote area, or we cannot send her on field, and we cannot send her to do this or that. Why is that fear there? That fear is there not because of another woman. That fear is there because of some man, right? So I mean, I'm sad when I'm saying that. I shouldn't have been saying this, but it is the truth.
Truth.
And if we do not accept the truth, then who is going to? So rather than telling your girl that don't go out, tell your boy that behave properly, or look at this thing in the right perspective,
True.
and create that neutrality, so that you look at life as life and not as in a box again. I mean, I again call these as boxes, young, old, male, female, and several other boxes exist, right? So, oh, this is manly, this is womanly, this is masculine, this is feminine, and not to disregard that there are definitely different types of masculine and feminine energies, and we are not discounting that, and hence we are trying to get that balance. We are trying to get a balance. When you say that for a sustainable tomorrow, what do you mean? For a sustainable tomorrow means what? For sustainable tomorrow means that everything has to be in balance. So whether it is that's why we have been created like that, right? In creation, if you say, I mean, in nature, in creation, in universe, if there was no darkness, would you appreciate light? Would you know the difference between light and dark if there was no dark? So can we hate dark? No, we cannot. We have to accept it, and we have to live in balance with darkness and light. If there was no bad, would you appreciate good? No. If there was no evil, you would not appreciate good, right? So the whole thing is like that. So everything has to remain in balance. We cannot say that one is better than the other, one is more powerful than the other. No, there is nothing like that. Both have to coexist, and that's why both have been created. Can you create a human life without the two people being involved? No, you cannot. So where is the question of empowering or being equal or whatever? That is already in existence. That is in nature. We are creating the imbalance. Hence, the only person that needs creation, needs a correction, is us, and our minds. So if we go with that thought today, and we practice that on a daily basis, mindfully, I think the time is quite near that we will be doing that. And as you can see today, in our own company, we see that we have engineers, women as engineers, designers, technical designers, and stuff. And I hope that we get more and more resumes of people in that skill set, So when we are looking at a role and a skill set, we are trying to match that. We are not looking at, okay, this is a man or a woman. It's sometimes, whoever it is can let you down, but irrespective, it has to be like that. One more thing I would like to specifically emphasize is that, specifically for women, which I have done in my life, is that, do not shy from having a great support system. So, your great support system is your family, it's your mother, it's your mother in law, it is all those, people in your family, whether it's a nuclear family or a joint family, your neighbors, your maids, your whoever, that is your support system. And I'm saying that because do not try to be a superhuman being. Nobody is. And please do not do that, because you only fatigue yourself, you stress yourself, and you do not, create harmony or balance in your life. So create a great support system, no matter whatever it is. Whether it's a maid, it's a mother, it's a mother-in-law, whether it is anybody who can support you in your endeavor, should be there in your support system. Create a great support system, for yourself. Do not try to manage everything on your own. You will only get burnt out. Don't do that. Don't do that. So, and I have always maintained that. I have done that. So I'm sharing my experience over here, because that helps. That helps. So people question me, oh, your child is so small, and how will you take care? How will you travel from Bandra to New Mumbai, Navi Mumbai every day? And I said, like, it will all happen. It will all happen. There is no deterrent in that. It has to happen. There will be no problem. And because there are people behind it, I'm not doing it alone. My mother took care of my child for 10 months when my daughter was born. And there are maids today that take care of her, there are caretakers, there are teachers, there are several other people who take care. There are friendly neighbors. And I say that we are blessed to be in India, because we have this kind of support structure that we can depend on. We have the social structure and the support that helps us to do all this. I have met several women in Western countries, very developed countries like US, like Germany, and several other countries, and they are left alone to fend for themselves. You will be amazed that they want to pursue professional careers, and they cannot, because they do not have this strong social structure. The cost of keeping in daycare and the dangers of keeping in daycare and stuff is so high, it's prohibitive. So they decide to be at home, and they are like a big bundle of nerves. They're a nervous wreck. So we have this option, we have this flexibility and freedom to explore that whatever we want to do, because we have a strong network, we have support system, we have a bought out support system, and we have inherent support system that we should definitely rely on and take advantage of, I feel.
So thank you. Actually, whatever the points what you told, I am sure that if I am getting an opportunity, I can run this for next 2-3 hours.
Yeah, I know. I can go on talking, I think.
Yeah, because and whatever points you are telling is so relevant.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you that I'm so happy that I'm in talk with you such in detail. I'm telling you seriously, the way I am feeling, how I am able to get introduced to an amazing personality today on this International Women's Day. Many of our viewers will also, able to hear your thoughts, and that is what matters. You told one person, if that one person can make that difference, I'm telling you what already
Yes.
in me.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm really honored and very happy to hear that.
Yeah, it is really thought provoking, your thoughts, your belief system, which enabled you to come till here. And there are many other 8 women whom you are now enabling them to get featured
Yes.
in Machine Maker through us. So with your permission, we will do this virtual launch.
Yes. Definitely. Please go ahead.
Yes, friends, we are all waiting for this special edition we are launching here.
Yes.
All for you. congratulations to all of people at Machine Maker as well as Phillips Machine Tools and those companies and the women people who are featured here. So your copies, there are many people who have pre-registered with us. They will
Yes.
be all getting this copy by email.
Yes.
And same, now people can come and visit us and get this copy free of cost. Please read it. I'm sure the way we got inspired by Shubhra Miranda today, these amazing ladies will definitely give you something in your life. They are role models. They are people who have already made some difference in their life, and which will definitely help many people to learn and, you know, uh, go heights. You were talking about Mrs. Lupani,
Yeah.
just seriously incredible. Gone through that, got the opportunity to gone through that. She was telling in her early childhood, she was able to hear and visit Baba Saheb Kalyani.
Oh, okay.
And his inspirational talk, once the way she heard from him, how the challenges what he faced and how he is able to bring Indian manufacturing to the global platform.
Yes.
And that thing made her to go into entrepreneurship. This woman got married at an early stage. After 12th standard, at
Wow.
that time she got married. We are not talking right now, very years.
Yeah.
So she finished her graduation first.
Wow.
After
Amazing.
marriage, he was a CNC operator. Husband was a CNC machine. He was not into any business family or anything like that. Very average family, living in this thing. They're based out of Pune. And after that, she completed her diploma in computer applications. Then
Amazing.
started an embroidery, computer embroidery firm.
Oh,
And she used
wow.
to tell that time she used to go and sell it herself, these products, herself.
Amazing.
She used to do accounts, everything herself, and where she wants to do something different, that is when she told her husband, you are already about CNC. Why can't we start a CNC machine? And
Amazing.
2004, I believe, or 2004, she started with a CNC machine, as you told in the beginning. You also know them very well. Today, they are making parts for BrahMos missile.
Yeah. Yeah.
So these are the amazing things what we are trying to talk about. Thank you, Shubhraji, for making this happen. And I am telling you, as those people, n number of women who are working in the shop floor along with their male counterparts, women definitely brings a different thought process. You look at your home.
Yes.
If there's only a man available in the house, that house will be mess. You have any doubt?
Exactly. Yeah.
Come to my home.
No. I have no doubt about that.
My wife is not there for next 2 weeks, so I am alone at my home. So I just go. It is worse than a hotel room. Why? Because there is no people who takes care of all those things, right? So what I'm telling is, it is not about a man cannot do anything or not. So there is both. No one is big or small there. So there are a lot of value addition which we can bring, and women can definitely make a big difference in our manufacturing house. And that is somewhere I am sure Terence will come and vouch for it.
Of course, I think he does. He does, and he's not very vocal about it at all times. But I'm sure that he believes that, and he embraces that, and he doesn't like, again, a great example of a man enabling, and by not interfering or not, and believing, for first of all believing that, believing in my abilities and capabilities itself was empowerment, because I was not from this background, as you know. And believing in my instincts, even for whether it's a Pune office, or whether it's a system, whether it's a procedure, whether it's something that we are discussing, or strategy. I mean, there is complete belief, because there is a different perspective, because there is going to be a different perspective which may not have been thought of, and probably men and women view things in a very different way, and that's why that is why it has to be cherished. That difference has to be respected and cherished, and that is what will lead you to your final outcome. So thanks so much for having me, and it was great talking to you. I also can comfortably say that I know a great human being in you, and I would definitely keep in touch with you through Nikhil or otherwise. And yeah, it has been an amazing session, and a great initiative by Machine Maker as well to cover. And I hope that this edition widely is read and inspires several men and women. I think both. So yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much for being part of this show, talking to us, talking to our viewers, and from heart. Whatever you spoke, it just came from your heart, and we definitely loved it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye. Have a nice day. Bye.
Friends, it was Shubhra Mirinda who came and spoke to us during this International Women's Day. I wish all the women around there and also the men to, do wonderful work. Just listen to the people, both genders. As Shubhra told, it is all about gender neutrality. It is not just even about gender equality. It is about gender neutrality. We are not someone to decide who is male, female, and what they should do or not. Don't have biases. Don't have boxes. Throw away the boxes. Get out of the box and enjoy life. Till we see you in the next point noted session, signing off. Thank you very much.